Hey camper, Skip Howland here. Thanks for joining me. This is my first podcast. I wanted to start doing some of these. I've thought a lot about this. Was in acting on the radio, doing commercials, voice work, stuff like that, and it was quite a while ago. And through that, through a trade show, I got invited to do some stuff for a high-tech company, and I actually began to understand a little bit of it. I'm not trained that way or anything. But one thing I have discovered over the years, and that is a good actor is a great salesperson. Not that they lie or anything, but I think that there is a sense of being able to read your audience, of understanding them and empathizing with them. And that really carries over to business development and figuring out what your customer is looking for and really keying in on communicating. So anyway, that notwithstanding, having been in the acting and the entertainment business all the way into junior high, doing magic as I did in high school, and then the high tech and being pretty successful with that, and now getting back into acting for the last year. Things have changed incredibly over the last 20 years in terms of acting, both theater, television, radio, the video. I mean, obviously, the internet wasn't around when I was doing this before. And it's made things to a great extent easier. And I want to do some podcasts to help folks that are getting into it or want to get back into it. I have to tell you, I'm not a spring chicken, but I have had tremendous success in getting back into it for a number of reasons. I want to share those. Kids on sets have been talking to me and asking me, for hints and pointers, and I want to share that. And I thought doing a podcast would be a cool way to do that. So we're going to do that. And it's not acting 101 or anything like that. Quite frankly, I can't teach anybody to act. I don't know that you can do that. It's in you. If you've been living more than 20 years, you know how to act. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't get along with anybody because you have to give and take, and it's all of that. So I welcome you to keep track of the podcasts and watch them as I release them. Hopefully they'll, maybe be once a week, something like that. But I have been successful. And like I said, things have changed. Things like, do you need an agent today? Because the internet, just Uncle Google in general, has made knowledge so easy to access. Things that there was no way you could look them up in a library. You had to find somebody that already knew. Well, Google already knows. Things like, how do I find jobs? What do I do? How do I get myself out there? And I use a tremendous amount of my knowledge of business development. I'm the product. I mean, that's what you are. If you're acting, you're getting into acting. You're your own product. So you have to kind of consider yourself as that. And what makes me different? Why are people going to want to find me? How do I get them to find me? How do I present myself? What makes me unique? Where are the rocks that I need to overturn and take a look and find the buried treasure wherever that is? I have to tell you, it's really not that difficult. You have to be patient. You do have to be able to handle rejection, because that whole thing of don't call me, I'll call you. Boy, that's how it works. If you're not going to get the job, people are not going to call you and say, you are great, but I'm giving it to somebody else. You'll get a call, you were great and we want you, or you won't get a call at all. In rare cases, sometimes people will actually get back to you, but in most cases, you just have to take rejection. So that is something you have to learn to deal with. You have to be confident. And maybe I'll give you some pointers on how do you instill that. So there's a lot of knowledge out there, and I think maybe I can help some folks get into it, break into it, or maybe get better at what you're doing. I'll tell you, one of them is right here. Used to be you had to have an agent. That agent would have to take you and introduce you. Today, lots and lots of roles are presented on the web. On the internet, there are sites, casting sites. You may already know that. Personally, I subscribe to like 7 of them. Some folks would say that's crazy, but I keep a ledger. It's just like sales. I find out where I got a job, which one of the casting sites helped me do that. So at the end of a year, I know which ones were productive and which ones weren't. It's something called ROI. And if you know business, that's return on investment. You're going to put something out like $7 a month to belong to subscribe to a casting site, put all your stuff in, and you'll be able to see what matches on a daily basis. And you can just, boom, start sending out, all the information. So we'll talk about that. I have not taken a professional headshot since I got started again. I've done it all with cameras on my phone or on my iPad. I'm using an iPad on this really good high resolution. It's 14 meg, so it's really good. And that didn't used to be the case. So we'll talk about all those things. But anyway, this is just an introduction. I hope it works for you. I enjoy it because I feel like I'm kind of paying it forward. Okay, so that's it. Enjoy. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time. Be well and take care of yourself.